Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, today we're diving straight into a really profound medical mystery, one that's honestly puzzled doctors and patients alike for decades. I mean, why is it that men often seem to just suddenly age or experience this massive cascade of health issues right as they hit one very specific decade in their lives? Well, we are going to look at some seriously groundbreaking new data today that finally gives us an answer to that exact question. So, why does aging accelerate suddenly in the 50s? It's incredibly frustrating, isn't it? You go in for your standard health check, the doctor runs all the usual tests and tells you, hey, everything looks fine. Yet, you can actually feel your body changing. It's kind of like your body's check engine light suddenly turns on all at once. You just don't bounce back like you used to, and out of nowhere, serious diseases seem to start popping up among your peers. Well, as it turns out, standard medicine might have literally been looking at the wrong things this entire time. Okay, let's dive into this. The real core of the problem here is a massive blind spot in modern medicine. For years, traditional diagnostics have looked at individual health metrics in total isolation. It's like looking at a single puzzle piece to see if it's quote-unquote normal. But a massive new AI analysis recently uncovered the truth by stepping back and looking at the whole puzzle. It discovered a hidden negative chain reaction happening across interconnected bodily systems. And standard, single tests, they completely miss it. Part 1. The scale of the AI breakthrough. To really understand how this blind spot was finally exposed, we have to look at the sheer, absolute dedication of the Asian Longevity Research Institute. Led by Dr. Shigeo Hori from Juntindo University and Dr. Nobuo Okui, they poured an incredible 17 years of continuous data collection into this project. Just think about that for a second. That is almost 2 decades of relentlessly tracking human health just to find these hidden systemic signals of aging. And all of this was officially published in the highly prestigious Nature portfolio journal Communications Medicine. And they weren't just tracking a handful of people either. This study analyzed large-scale clinical data from 5,854 Japanese men. The artificial intelligence spent that entire 17-year period crunching this massive data set. This ensures that what they found isn't just some quick localized statistical fluke, but a deeply rooted biological reality. So, what did the AI actually find in all that data? Section 2. The 3 keys determining aging. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is what we're about to uncover next. Out of all the possible metrics and blood tests available, the AI stripped away all the noise and pinpointed 3 specific keys that essentially determine the course of male aging. These 3 keys are testosterone, which is your primary male hormone, your levels of chronic inflammation, specifically measured by a protein called CRP, and your kidney function, which is tracked via creatinine. Now, normally doctors evaluate a patient's hormones, their inflammation, and their kidneys in completely separate, independent contexts. But the AI proved they are actually part of a highly interconnected, unified system. And this leads us to a terrifying synergy the researchers call the negative chain of aging. Here's the real danger. When your testosterone drops, chronic microinflammation occurs, and your kidney function declines all at the exact same time, it triggers an accelerated system-wide aging process. And here's the kicker. This chain reaction makes your cancer risk absolutely skyrocket, even if every single one of those 3 individual values is technically sitting right there in the normal range on a standard lab test. Single metric diagnostics entirely miss this deadly convergence. Part 3. The turning point. So, when exactly does this biological bomb go off? Well, using a mathematical technique called broken line regression, which basically pinpoints the exact moment a steady trend suddenly snaps and spikes straight upward, the data proves the definitive, critical turning point is the early 50s. And this brilliantly illustrates how, before your 50s, the system-wide aging risk stays relatively low. But the second men hit their early 50s, that negative chain reaction of hormones, inflammation, and kidney function just kicks into overdrive. This is the crucial window for medical intervention. Section 4. Universality proven worldwide. Now, you might be wondering, does a study of Japanese men really apply to someone halfway across the globe? It's a completely fair question. To verify their findings, the team actually cross-referenced their AI model with the U.S. National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, commonly known as NHANES. And the results were stunning. In the high-risk negative chain group, meaning those guys with a combined drop in testosterone, rising inflammation, and lower kidney function, the historical rates of prostate cancer, lung cancer, and bladder cancer significantly exceeded the normal group in the U.S. as well. This confirmed that this AI-discovered risk profile completely transcends race and nationality. It's a universal human truth. Section 5. A new longevity blueprint. But here is where we shift the narrative entirely. This data absolutely shouldn't cause panic about sudden disease striking in your 50s. Instead, we are completely reframing aging. We're shifting away from viewing aging as this irreversible phenomenon that just helplessly happens to us, and instead recognizing it as a controllable system. So the crucial point is, by looking at these interconnected biomarkers together, we can visualize health risks long before the diseases actually manifest. This unlocks the true potential for targeted preventative interventions, which lowers healthcare costs and greatly improves your overall quality of life.
The lead researchers themselves beautifully summarize the core of their 17-year journey with this quote. They said, "What we have found over 17 years is not just a sign of disease, but a blueprint for longevity on how to age healthily." I love that. It brings such a profoundly human touch to all this intense clinical data. The ultimate goal isn't just to predict sickness, right? It's to map out exactly how to maintain a vibrant, active life as we accumulate years.
And the Asian Longevity Research Institute isn't just sitting around on this published data. They're already turning it into real-world action. Let's move to and see how this builds into their next steps. First, they are working to validate specific longevity biomarkers that take into account various genetic and lifestyle backgrounds. And second, they are actively designing comprehensive preventative intervention programs to help patients stop this negative chain dead in its tracks before it can do any damage. Which leaves us with the most important question of all. Now that we know the 3 interconnected keys to our biological puzzle, what steps will you take to control your own turning point? This explainer has shown that your 50s don't have to be a blind spot anymore. Armed with this new knowledge, you can approach your next health checkup not just looking for normal individual numbers, but actively managing your holistic longevity system. So, take control of the chain reaction. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive, and I'll catch you in the next one.